Welcome everyone to today's presentation of everyone's favorite Work TV League, aka the only one we actually run here at the moment on Work TV, the GGR Oregon Diecast Indycar Series, right here, right now, Nashville Superspeedway here for the Music City 125, as we see some guys in qualifying spinning out, going a little crazy here, as per usual in GGR. We have our normal GGR antics. But this one should be a fun one. Nashville, personally, one of my favorite tracks on the iRacing service. Recently got added to the service because of it being on the NASCAR schedule last year, and I personally have tons and tons of fun when I'm racing here. It doesn't matter what the car is, a street stock, any of the three NASCAR vehicles. I mean, something open wheel. I don't really have much experience here in an IndyCar, but tonight we'll be able to see what these IndyCars are like here at the Nashville Super Speedway. My name is Bryson Collins. Today, unfortunately, I'm joined by nobody, as Henry Clappert regretted to inform me that he worked until 10 o'clock Eastern Time. And Quentin Haley is out there RC car racing, and the only other guy I know who would commentate with me is sitting in Quentin Haley's passenger seat. So, you know, shout out to you guys. You guys are about to have a lot more fun tonight than I am. As qualifying begins to wind itself down, let's get into some weather for tonight. Some beautiful night skies here in Lebanon, Tennessee. Temperature of 84 degrees Fahrenheit. And then track temperature, same thing as the air temperature, 84 degrees Fahrenheit. 9-mile-an-hour wind speeds, mostly cloudy skies, just past 6 p.m. Eastern time with a slight bit of humidity. Some track info here, as I mentioned, located in Lebanon, Tennessee at a track length of 1.3 miles. Nashville Superspeedway obviously is an oval, has 4 turns at an altitude of 571 feet. That'll conclude qualifying here. Before we go into our starting grid, let's get into some race info. Tonight's event will be 96 laps or 125 miles, hence the name, Music City 125. We have an average lap time about 25 seconds for the drivers here tonight, as we'll pull up the starting grid. And on the pole, he had a rough week at Iowa. A great rebound for him, the driver of the 13, Ethan Workman. To his outside will be the number 3, Hunter Fox, and row 2 inside we'll have Christian Visconti. To his outside, his Outlaw Racing teammate, the 75 of Blake Kennedy. Rounding out the top 5 was Brady Cox in the 76. To his outside, the 77 of Ethan Harrison. Row 4 inside, first time this season we're seeing him, Connor Havrilla. I actually believe this may be his first ever start here in GGR entirely. So welcome Connor Havrilla to the GGR Oregon Diecast IndyCar Series. You're going to hate it here. Starting P8, Jay Moeller in the 51. He opened the season with a couple of wins. He's a playoff driver. He hasn't quite hit the hit that level that he started at the beginning of the season. We'll see if Mulder can turn it around today. P9, another guy who is making a return to the GGR Oregon Diecast IndyCar Series. He won Kentucky back in Season 1 in a photo finish with yours truly. The 00 Matthew McDonald lining up P9. To his outside, running out the top 10 will be the 52 of Nick Benya. Row 6, sorry I can't count. 37 of Jack Leslie to the inside. Garrett White, the first car to not qualify on the outside. Josh Patterson will line up P13, Paul Granada 14th, Anthony Sharps 15th, Jaden Carter 16th, Ryan Kame 17th, Noah Janinda 18th. He's making his first ever point start here in the GGR Oregon Diecast IndyCar Series, and running out the field in 19th is Aaron Giffen. So we have a 19 car field for today. Let me read off to you guys the current playoff standings here, as we are a lot of races into this season. Josh Patterson has 579 points. He is gone right now. Blake Kennedy and Jay Mulder tied for second at 547 points. So 32-point gap there for Josh Patterson. He definitely has a lot of room to work with here. Ethan Workman, 536 points, fourth in points. Ethan Harrison is fifth in points behind him, sitting at 534 points. Anthony Sharps, 533 points. Aiden Oxenine, 530 points. Jack Leslie, 520 points. Justin Haley, 506 points. And Dimitri Mundras, 502 points. Haley did not make a start last week, nor will he make a start this week. And Dimitri Mundras was suspended for last week's event, and it looks like Mundras is not here tonight. So looks like Haley and Mundras can pretty much kiss their seasons goodbye. As the field lines up here, one to go this time by. We're going to fire off 19 IndyCars here in the GGR Oregon Diecast IndyCar Series. I don't know what to expect here. I mean, it's GGR, so there's a lot of factors that'll play into tonight's event, and we are here to see what happens with Ethan Workman and Hunter Fox on the front row. Workman on the pole, huge for him. He was second in points entering the playoffs. They bunch up on the inside a little bit. Green flag waves though, and we are firing off here with Ethan Workman to the lead early on. Hunter Fox will slot himself in line in P2. Blake Kennedy, Ethan Harrison, Jay Mulder trying to roll the top side here as they go through 1 and 2. And we already have a wreck behind. Sounds like Aaron Giffen is involved. It looks like Jack Leslie, Nick Pena. Not really sure who all is involved. That's Garrett White, that target car that we saw spinning around there. So we're going to pull up the WARC replay real quick here and see what happened here. Lap 1 of 96. As we see that pans to Garrett White. He's already spinning. Oh, the pink car, I believe that's Jack Leslie, the BWT car, washes up in a Garrett White. I can't tell who that is. Looks like Aaron Giffen. Didn't really have anywhere to go there. So, unfortunately, Garrett A. White using that fast repair early on here tonight at the Nashville Superspeedway. And, fortunately, that cautions breed cautions, and that is especially true here in GGR. So, it's truly unfortunate that we might be seeing a caution fest here tonight, but we'll figure it out and we'll see where the road takes us here. As some interesting notes for tonight's event. Obviously, I went over some of your playoff drivers. Ethan Workman leading this thing. That's a great sight for him. He's going to hope that that continues, though. Josh Patterson, as I mentioned, 32-point lead. He's going to head down pit road here. He doesn't have any damage. He's just going to pit road to go to the back. He's kind of got a target on his back there, that 0-2. Obviously, he's got the most wins so far this season in GGR. He's leading the championship standings. He was a regular season champion, turns around, and he won last week at Iowa on field strategy. I mean, there's really nothing you can put in front of that 0-2 that won't stop him from winning. So, unfortunately, the drivers have started a coalition trying to make sure that 0-2 car doesn't win. Of course, hopefully it's by clean and legal standards, but you know it's GGR, so who knows what to expect here. As Patterson sits on pit road, looks like Garrett A. White, he's going to get that fast repair. I believe those are the only, as well as Nick Pena, sorry. Looks like they went on pit road. Ryan Kane, the only other person to head down pit road. Everyone else still up here pacing with pace car lights on. Blake Kennedy, another playoff driver. He's been solidly strong. He's tied for second right now with Jay Mulder in the point standings in that 75 Izzy car. Ethan Harrison, he's up there P5 in the standings, so he's looking to have a good run today in that 77. Of course, I mentioned him. He is probably the fan favorite besides Henry Clapper, because of course Henry's already got that record locked up for most fan favorite driver in GGR history. But yeah, Ethan Harrison obviously has got a lot of fans here in the YouTube chat, and that 77 car, he's looking so far strong. Good qualifying run. He's up to P4 right now. Jay Muller, obviously I mentioned he and Blake Kennedy tied for P2 in points. He rounds out the top 5 currently. Christian Visconti in the Lyman Media car, always a very, very strong driver here. If you don't know Christian Visconti, that is Mr. Ocean Seam 382 on YouTube. And Lyman Media, that is actually owned by Tyson Gifford, one of the bigger sponsors of WARC TV and WARC TV's parent league, World Online Racing Championship. And Lyman Media is also a sponsoring partner as well for several iRacing drivers, such as Christian Visconti himself, Henry Clapper. He also sponsors real-life drivers too. He's on the, I want to say it's, I don't remember which post it is that he put his sticker on, but he's on like the A post, the B post, something like that on Quentin Haley's Dirt Modifieds. So Tyson got himself a few sponsorship stuff, and seems like it's working out for him. As pace truck lights are off, Hunter Fox and Ethan Workman will be set to go green flag this time by. And I'm looking for something exciting here, as we're going to pull up the Henry Cam here for this restart. This race, since it doesn't have a true sponsor, will be presented by the Henry Cam. So make sure everyone, I mean, there's not really anything you can do to go support the Henry Cam. Just, you know, go Henry, I guess. Pace truck pulls off, and Ethan Workman fires off very quickly here. Hunter Fox just was sleeping on that restart. I mean, Hunter Fox, I don't know if he had his alarm clock set or what, but he had it set on the wrong time, because he is outside of the top 3 already as they make it through 1 and 2. They've already made it further than they did at the start of this thing. 5 laps into the race, we have some side-by-side action. Giffen to the inside of Pena there. That's for 11th. Back up front, though, still side-by-side, Visconti and Mulder. Looks like Mulder tags the wall there. A little 3 wide back there. That looks like Paul Granada. For a moment, it looked like Paul Granada. It looks like Garrett White. He's pulling out of pit road. as they head through turns 1 and 2, side by side right here. Oh, Jaden Carter, he got the outside wall. They're 3 wide down the back straightaway. Nick Pena is below the apron here. Giffen will come up and clear Carter. Giffen and Pena side by side battling here. Josh Patterson, not sure if this is a position the O2 wants to be in, side by side with Carter. Now he's got to work his way around Giffen and Pena here. He goes to the inside of Giffen. Giffen closes the door, and that'll set them up going into turns 1 and 2. Pena clears Giffen. Patterson out of the inside of Giffen. Aaron Giffen trying to give as much room as he can in that 9 car. Ultimately, he's going to get passed by Anthony Sharps and possibly Jaden Carter as he really messed up turns 1 and 2. Back up front, Ethan Workman, Blake Kennedy, Ethan Harrison, Christian Visconti. That is an Outlaw Racing top 4 as they've pulled out to a sizable difference here over Jay Mulder sitting in P5. Brady Cox, he's going to throw a slide job of sorts on Hunter Fox there, and he will take, sorry, English is hard. He'll take P6 here. Paul Granada, he's moving himself up into P8 right now as he's side by side with Connor Havrilla. And Granada will clear Havrilla there. That is for P8. Josh Patterson up to 9th. And actually, I think I just saw Granada. He got the wall a little bit there when I panned away. Patterson has moved himself up into the top 10 already in the O2. As one by one, he's picking these guys off back here. The only driver out of the race is Matthew McDonald so far, as well as Noah Janinda, who did not start on the grid. So not sure what happened to Matthew McDonald, but he has retired from the event tonight. He will round out the field in P18. Garrett White, 3 laps down after that incident. So he will sit there in P18. Through the field, though, Workman still leading Blake Kennedy here. Pretty calm race so far. It looks like Christian Visconti going to make a move on his teammate Ethan Harrison as the 77 and the 80 will battle it out. Visconti will dive it in on the 77 entering turns 3 and 4 here. He'll clear Harrison, and off of 4, Visconti having a little bit of a network issue there. So Harrison probably having to lift a little bit to let Visconti go. Ultimately, Visconti will take P3 from his teammate. Jay Mulder is still P5. He lurks in the shadows. Mulder, part of Nova Sim Racing here, and Nova Sim Racing going through a little bit of a revamp of sorts, as it's already been mentioned. Josh Patterson, once he finishes the GGR Oregon Diecast IndyCar Series season, he will not be racing for Nova Sim Racing anymore here on the iRacing service, no matter what the league is. Oh, caution is out. That's Hunter Fox spinning through the grass here, and unfortunately, that'll interrupt the point I was about to try to make here. 12 laps in, we get our second caution of the night here, as we'll try to figure out what happened with Hunter Fox. So this is down the back straightaway here. Looks like he was in a battle of sorts with Brady Cox. Not sure what happened here. Oh, this is a lap behind. So he was battling with Brady Cox. We're going to fast forward it here. Side by side, coming through 3 and 4. Oh, looks like Hunter Fox, he just got loose on his own, spun down into the grass. So unfortunately, that self-spin will bring out the second caution flag tonight. Luckily, Fox kept it off of everything, so he should be good to go here. Shouldn't have much damage. Unfortunately, those Outlaw Racing guys, they were looking forward to the opportunity. They had a top 4 breakaway here, and man, that must have been... I mean, it was exciting for me. I own the team, so I'm slightly biased, but you know, having a top 4 breakaway shows some good skill here. These guys are gonna no, Ethan Workman stays out. Ethan Harrison stays out as well. So the 2 Ethans will stay out, as well as Brady Cox, Paul Granada, Connor Havrilla. Jaden Carter looks like he stays out as well. Everybody else down pit road. I'm hearing that there is some concerns about tire wear. That's probably what this first pit stop is all about here, 14 laps in. I was not 100% sure how many sets these guys have. I want to say it's 3 or 4. So looks like these guys are dividing their sets up well. I know normally in these Indy cars there isn't too much tire wear going on here. Usually these guys can get away with staying out quite a while on one set of tires without really having to sacrifice a lot of speed. Looks like tonight might be the difference, though. Nashville Superspeedway has a concrete racing surface, and there's probably several other factors as well, such as temperature, the fact that it's a night race, but it's definitely that concrete surface. That's probably the biggest variable here. That explains why these guys are going to have some tire wear. Kennedy will win the race off of pit road. That'll slot him P8, as Ethan Workman and Ethan Harrison, those are the only 2 from the top 5 who decided to stay out here, and ultimately that'll put them 1-2 with Brady Cox P3 and Paul Granada moving up into P4 here. Josh Patterson, he also came down pit road, a little delayed from the rest of the field. He's also coming off a little delayed from the rest of the field as well. The O2 not showing any signs of damage, but you always got to follow the points leader, especially a guy like Josh Patterson, who's usually so dominant. And I'm wondering how long it'll take for him to get to the front here. As Workman will lead Harrison here. Pace truck lights should be off next time by, so we should be 2 to green here. Let's get our first mid-race update here. 82 laps left in this thing. We've had 2 cautions wave. 7 of those 15 laps complete have been spent under caution. We have not had a lead change yet, as Ethan Workman has so far been leading the charge here at Nashville Superspeedway. And Nashville Superspeedway under the lights is so cool. I mean, I definitely think this is one of the better looking tracks at night. I mean, obviously, I think every racetrack with lights looks better at night than, its day comparison. But there's just something about Nashville. I don't know what it is. Just a really cool track. Very glad that iRacing was able to scan this onto the service. And a lot of these guys very excited for it as well, as obviously it's got a lot of ownability being on the NASCAR Cup Series schedule. I believe that deal is set for like 3 years or something like that. So definitely have about 3 years worth of Nashville Superspeedway here on iRacing at minimum, and it's going to be exciting to see how many more fun races we can have here. As I've mentioned countless times so far already in this broadcast, this is one of my favorite oval tracks on the sim. It's a track that takes a little bit of talent, but it's one of the fun tracks that takes talent. It's not like Martinsville where I run about 2 seconds off every race. It's a track where I can actually be slightly competitive. Maybe that's why I like it, but 1 to go. These guys are going to double it up here. Pitch truck lights are off. And double checking timing and scoring. Matthew McDonald still the only driver to retire from this race. It's Garrett A. White. He's now 2 laps down instead of the 3 that he's been pretty much the whole race. Nobody else is a lap down. Hunter Fox, though, is taking a trip through pit road here. Josh Patterson will be at the tail end of the cars that are currently on track, 15th. Hunter Fox, he should have an EOL for causing the caution, so he's probably just pitting, trying to take some fuel or something. Trying to get some sort of extra advantage on these other drivers here, but ultimately, Ethan Workman and Ethan Harrison, we have an Ethan front row here. The only difference is, well, one's Workman, one's Harrison. As Paul Granada looks like he almost just gave a love tap there to Ethan Harrison. Probably not something you want to do to the league owner, but I mean, we all know who Paul Granada is, so obviously he and Ethan are friends, so probably a friendly little love tap there. Pace truck rolls off. We'll see how the teammates work together here on this restart. Ethan Harrison lays back a lot. I'm not really sure what he was doing. Before the green fired, Ethan Harrison dropped back to where he was nearly side by side with Brady Cox. And he's going to lose that position to Cox. He's going to probably lose his position to Granada here as well, as we'll see what kind of a run Granada gets on the top side. Harrison drops back. He's side by side with Havrilla and Granada. I have no idea what Harrison was doing on that restart. That's definitely not something you generally see out of Ethan Harrison. I guess Workman really caught him lacking here on this restart, as ultimately now Harrison, he'll get by Granada. He's having a block Havrilla for the moment, though. Ethan Workman, he's got the first challenge he's had all night for the lead, and that challenge is in the form of the 76 of Brady Cox. Brady Cox is one of the more penalized drivers, I'd say, in GGR. Unfortunately for him, he always finds himself caught in a bad situation that generally gets caused by him. But Cox, he does show signs of being competitive and having some sort of speed, and right now he's looking good P2, as he's right there on the rear wing of Ethan Workman, just quite can't find himself around that 13 car at the moment here, as we are nearly 20 laps in. Cox will fire it into the inside of Ethan Workman. Workman should get the run off the top side. Cox is going to be cleared by the 13 car there, and they will be wing to wing here 20 laps into this thing. Ethan Harrison has fought his way back up to P3, as Christian Visconti off of the pit stops. He's the first car on fresh tires. He's into the top 5. He's reeling in Paul Granada right now, and Ethan Harrison, he had an issue. He got loose off the corner, nearly spun it. He keeps it on the racetrack here, but unfortunately that will cost him P3, possibly P4 here. He's in a battle with his teammate for it right now, and we have a car on the wall back here. That's Jaden Carter in the 7. And Carter once again in the wall, entering the corner. Not really sure what's going on with that 7 car. Maybe just can't quite see how close he is to the wall. As Christian Visconti will get by Ethan Harrison, and Harrison, he is struggling right now ever since that restart. As Mulder and Kennedy side by side here through 3 and 4. And we'll see what happens here. Oh, Harrison and Visconti were going at it a little bit there. Ultimately, Visconti's going to start to pull away. Up front, side by side for the lead here, Brady Cox and Ethan Workman. Cox got to the inside of Workman. They're going to be side by side drag racing down the back straightaway here. 22 laps into this thing. Workman possibly going to lose the lead for the first time tonight. We'll see how he hangs on the top side of 3 and 4. Oh, and a great run by Ethan Workman here. He's actually going to clear Brady Cox and retake the lead here. I'm not sure if Cox led that last lap, but I can say that Workman has led it at least all but one up until that point, as Brady Cox now goes back to the rear wing of Ethan Workman as they slice and dice here for the lead. Cox now, he's going to try the outside here that Workman just used. Oh, he gets too close to Workman. Heavy contact, and Brady Cox is up and around. Oh, I think Paul Granada is collected. Everyone has to check up there, and that'll put a damper on Brady Cox's night as he's going to have to use that fast repair. We're going to take you back a lap as you saw how hard they were racing here. We're actually going to go on board here with Brady Cox in that gyro cam here. As, oh man, partially looks like netcode. Not really too sure. We're going to go far chase and we're going to rewind real quick here. And we're going to get another look here going into the corner. Oh yeah, netcode. Netcode. Huge netcode there. And Paul Granada, he netcoded through that incident. I believe Granada will be okay. That is unfortunate for Brady Cox as he was running up front battling for the lead right there, and man, sucks when you're running that well, and especially something like netcode that's, I mean, really out of control when you're a driver. I mean, unfortunately, it's something that's going to always probably be in iRacing. Netcode is very much a network-to-network issue, and not everyone can have the 1 gigabyte fiber or Wi-Fi that some people have. So, fortunately, that's just one of the factors of iRacing that you're always going to have to take in. And tonight, it has captured Brady Cox. Ethan Workman is the only car besides Nick Pena who appears to be a lap down. Ethan Workman's the only guy who stayed out. Ethan Harrison actually wins the race off of pit road. Christian Visconti will line up P3. Granada 4th. Mulder 5th. Hunter Fox 6th. Anthony Sharp 7th. Blake Kennedy 8th. Jane Carter 9th. And Ryan Kame. He's going to round out the top 10 here. 25 laps into this thing. We've had our third caution of the night. And Nick Pena, I'm not quite sure how he ended up a lap down. He's actually 2 laps down, so he must have had a spin and was able to get it back to pit road. Unfortunately for Pena, though, Ethan Workman did not pit. He keeps staying it out here, and Workman is definitely saving on tires here. I mean, in America, in real life, there's a pretty big tire shortage right now, so Ethan Workman, I mean, he's obviously saving himself some money here. Maybe he didn't bring as many sets to the track as the other guys did, but ultimately here, looks like Nick Pena, he's going to have to drop to the back here. He's got some left side damage. I see a giant scrape on the side of that 52 there. It looks like Brady Cox, he's actually not going to take his fast repair. He's going to pull it into the garage. So Brady Cox will be the second retirement behind Matthew McDonald. Both of their nights ending early. And I mean, it really sucks for Brady Cox. He was running himself a clean race. That wreck obviously wasn't really on him at all. Unfortunately, he and Workman side by side. Netcode struck, and Cox ended up getting the worst end of it as Ethan Workman retains the lead. And I'm curious about his strategy here. There's something that he is aware of that these guys aren't. I mean, I was told before the race by Blake Kennedy in that 75, he said tire order is going to be a huge factor in this race. He also told me it gets really tight off of 4, so there's probably going to be a lot of wrecks there. The only wreck I've seen off of 4 so far was Hunter Fox getting loose and self-spinning. And obviously Ethan Workman, he pulled away to a pretty big lead there on that last run. So I don't know if maybe now, since these guys are on fresh tires and he's on 26 lap old tires, that'll be the difference here. But so far Ethan Workman looking really good here And his pace car lights go off, and 27 laps into this thing, if Workman can manage to lead at least 43 of them, then he will guarantee himself to get a bonus point here for most laps led, unless the guy who takes over the lead from him leads 43 laps, but I believe Brady Cox has led a lap here tonight, so as long as Workman leads 43 laps, half the race, he's got that most laps led point, so that's obviously something that 13 has to look out for and staying out front here, especially when he had a rough race last week at Iowa. He got caught up in 2 wrecks that weren't really his fault, and ultimately that put a huge damper on the 13. He was only 2 points back on Josh Patterson last week. Patterson, meanwhile, I'm a little surprised he hasn't climbed through the field as quick as we thought he would. He's lining up P12 here in that 02 car. Pretty much towards the tail end of the lead lap cars. There's 14 left on the lead lap. The guys behind him are Hunter Fox and Ryan Kane. With Nick Pena 2 laps down. Garrett White, I believe, is back. Yeah, he's 1 lap down. So Pace Truck pulls off. We'll see what kind of tricks Workman pulls here. We'll see if Harrison lays back as much as he did last restart. And Workman fires off quickly here. Harrison easy on the throttle. He'll get down in front of Christian Visconti, his teammate. Paul Granado on the outside. And these guys will be side by side going through 1 and 2. Visconti looks like he's going to lose some ground here to Granada, as Granada, what a run he got on the top side there in that 04 for Nova Sim Racing. And your top 6 are Nova Sim Racing and Outlaw Racing drivers. Mulder and Granada, 4th and 6th. Kennedy 5th, Visconti 4th, Harrison 2nd, with Workman leading this thing. And Workman is looking quick here. I don't know, maybe he's got the right strategy here, saving those tires for later in the race. As so far they'll single file it out here. Looks like we have Anthony Sharp side by side with Jay Mulder here. That is for P6. And yeah, Sharps and Granada still going at it. It looks like Jane Carter got the wall again. He was side by side with Connor Havrilla, and that's the 3rd time tonight we've seen Carter get the wall. I don't know what's going on with that 7 car. He can't. I guess he likes living on the edge. As Josh Patterson will get by him, he's funneled himself up into the 9th position here. Connor Havrilla is P8. Good debut race here for Connor Havrilla. Oh, Blake Kennedy!
Caution, yellow flag.
Contact, he's around. He has heavy right side damage, and that car is that is all 4 wheels are not on the ground, as you see that left front. Let's go back and look here and see what happened to Blake Kennedy in that 75. I saw he kind of spun down the track a little bit. Not sure if there was some contact perhaps, but he had pretty heavy right side damage. Oh, Kennedy kind of ran Granada out of room there. I'm going to have to go to far chase real quick. I'm going to rewind it here. We're going to go to the far chase camera and see what happened. Granada was way up on the wall, came down slightly. I want to see here. So Granada's on the wall. He brushes the wall. Kennedy kind of runs him up there out of room. Let's go back and look at the point of contact here. See how close these guys were. I mean, yeah, Granada, he kind of bounced off the wall. It was a very slight bounce off the wall. You see there, he brushes the wall. He's coming down off the corner, though. As you see, you kind of have to come down off exit. Kennedy's still sliding up, and Kennedy doesn't quite turn off the corner right there. I mean, Kennedy's pretty much ran Granada up to the wall there. That's sort of a racing incident in my book, but Kennedy coming down pit road here, and I don't know. I am gonna have an assumption that Kennedy is gonna try to blame that one on Granada. Oh, Jay Mulder is stopped on pit road. Oh, Granada and Mulder are hitting each other. We're gonna go back and did something happen to Granada and Mulder? Really not. Oh, they're hitting each other here on the back straightaway. What is happening here? Let's take a look. So Granada looks like he was maybe getting his spot back. Mulder hits Granada under caution, puts him in the wall. Those are teammates. So Mulder hits Granada. Granada comes back down and hits Mulder. So it looks like it was instigated a little bit by Mulder. Granada went and hit him back. And then Granada comes up the racetrack. Oh, Mulder intent wrecks Granada. Granada goes upside down. Mulder's in the wall. Granada is rolling up down the track. We're going to speed this up here a little bit. Granada spins it around, gets back down pit road. This is where we just saw. Mulder slows down on pit road. Granada runs into him. Granada is off into the grass. Oh, they hit each other again. Mulder's driving into Granada. These are teammates, and it looks like Granada has been disqualified. Mulder's on pit road. I'm not really sure why Granada was the only one disqualified from that, but okay, that's interesting. I feel like both drivers should be disqualified for that incident. I'm not really sure why Jay Mulder is not disqualified here. We're gonna pull up the work replay for just a second. Alright, so we're back here. Just taking a quick look at the replay, making sure I saw that right. So, pace truck lights are out. They're going to double it up here. Ethan Workman and Ethan Harrison are going to be side by side here. Christian Visconti, P3. So Outlaw Racing currently rounds out the podium here. Blake Kennedy is sitting on pit road. He is down 2 laps here. Jay Mulder looks like he is out of the session now too. Paul Granado was not disqualified from the session. So, pace truck fired off. Ethan Workman out to a huge lead here already. Looks like Christian Visconti, he fired off pretty well. He's going to be the inside of his teammate Ethan Harrison here. 35 laps into this thing. And Ethan Workman, he is still not pit yet today. So, I mean, 35 laps down on his stint of fuel and tires here. And at some point, he's going to have to pit for fuel. But right now, he's looking good, leading all these laps here. And Ethan Workman, it might be the car to beat tonight, as that 13 is putting in a lot of effort here. Visconti and Harrison going at it, and a guy that, I mean, he's pretty hit or miss. We've talked about him sometimes, sometimes more than others. That is Anthony Sharps right here in this 92. Connor Havrilla, good run for him. He's moved himself up into the top 5. Ryan Kame, a good run for him. He's up into P6. Jaden Carter's 7th after a few taps at the wall. We've got a great battle going on back here. Giffen, Patterson, White, and Jack Leslie. We've got a group of 4 guys back here dueling it out as Josh Patterson is trying to work his way through these guys. Aaron Giffen and Patterson side by side here. As Garrett A. White, he's also going to go to the inside of Giffen. That causes Giffen to check up. That moves Jack Leslie to the bottom, and Jack Leslie's going to go around. Oh, he is stuck in the the outside wall. That'll probably end the 37's night. Let's get another look here. This is a lap behind, as you see. I mean, we had a gaggle of guys. I mean, you could say we had 4 guys left under a blanket here. And looks like Giffen, Patterson, Leslie, and White. Well, Leslie was kind of chilling at the back of this group here, and then it was going into 3. I'm going to go into far chase camera here, see what we see. Looks like he just didn't check up enough. Yeah, he just ran into the back of Garrett A. White and somehow managed to get stuck in the outside wall there. So that will definitely end Leslie's night prematurely here, as he's going to have to tow to pit road, and that'll put him a few laps down. Looks like Ethan Workman has finally come down to pit for the first time this race. I mean, 39 laps in, Ethan Workman was looking like the strongest guy out there on older tires. So this is interesting. So Workman, now he's kind of doing a little bit of a Josh Patterson strategy here. I mean, he's gonna have to go from the back, sort of. I guess not too far back. He's gonna be lining up P6 here. Looks like Anthony Sharps and Hunter Fox off of pit road. Jaden Carter. Poor Nick Pena. This guy has been trying to get a wave around for quite some time. I mean, maybe he's the lucky dog at this point, but I mean, he's out here trying to get the lucky dog, and the pit cycles here are very different. I'm actually enjoying the fact that we have such different pit cycles from different drivers in the field. I mean, Ethan Workman, he didn't pit until just now, lap 39. I mean, that's nearly halfway through. It makes me wonder if he's going to have to make a second stop or what. Ethan Harrison, he's had a couple. He's had one stop himself. We've had some guys with 4 stops back here. Anthony Sharps, he's pit 4 times. So has Hunter Fox, and Ryan Kame has pit 7 different times in this race. Blake Kennedy's pit 4 different times. Josh Patterson's pit 5 different times. Jack Leslie's pit 5 different times. Of course, some of those guys pitting, they're just going down pit road. They want to chill at the back for now, but and I'm really there's a little bit of a rift going on. So that was Nova Sim Racing. Let's go back to that Jay Muller Paul Granada incident. That is Nova Sim Racing. Their teammates Paul Granada. He's taking ownership of the team since Josh Patterson is leaving, and I don't know what was going on there between the 51 and the 04, but both of them definitely deserve to be intentionally disqualified by the admins for what they were doing under caution there. And that was just simply interesting. I believe we might be able to get Jay Mulder up here for an interview real quick as these guys double it up here, and Ethan Harrison will be leading us to the green flag. Alright, we're going to pull Jay Mulder in here for an interview. Jay Mulder, you're in the Work TV booth, buddy. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Well, Jay, we wanted to talk with you here about what happened between you and your teammate and team owner, Paul Granada. I mean, it seems like you guys were each intentionally wrecking each other. I was honestly surprised when I took a look that the admins didn't disqualify you guys. Granted, that is GGR standards at this point. What was going on between you and Paul? What was all that about?
So we had that caution there. Paul came off the corner and took out Blake Kennedy right in front of me. But and with where the caution came out, we flew past the pace car, so we had to check up for the pace car. And we're on the brake, we're all checking up, and I came up on Paul a little bit, so I was right behind him, but I was on the brake trying to back off of him, and then he just slammed on the brake right in front of me and hit me. And then I think he thought I hit him intentionally or something, because after that he came down the track and knocked my right front wheel off or whatever. Which after that I couldn't turn the car and it just plowed straight into 3 and 4. And I mean, after that he hit me again and I got instant point DQ and then removed from the session. I think he did as well. But you know,
I hate to interrupt you here, Jay, for a second. We had a caution here on this ensuing restart, 42 of 96. Looks like Jaden Carter, he fired off third and spun up the racetrack, bounced right into Christian Visconti. So that was a little rough incident there. Unfortunate for Christian Visconti, he's been a top 3 car all night. He and the Outlaw Racing crew have been up towards the front, so that's tough for him. But yeah, Jay, I was just kind of curious, wondering what was going on there between you guys. I mean, that was some really, really interesting stuff going on between you and Paul Granada. I mean, is there some hard feelings over there at Nova Sim Racing between you guys? Like a little bit of a rift going on?
Um, I I can't speak for Paul, and I mean, I don't know. You get this stuff from time to time, but I don't think I'll be coming back to the team just because the team's not what it used to be. But I think I can't blame the GGR administration. I mean, I think it's a misunderstanding on their part in what all happened there. But we'll come back next week and you know, good times. It's just a video game.
All right. Well, Jay Mulder, unfortunately, from what I'm seeing here in some third-party chats, looks like Paul Granada is very, very frustrated with you right now. So, looks like we have a little bit of an internal issue here with Nova Sim Racing, and that unfortunately involves playoff driver Jay Mulder. We'll see if Mulder can recuperate next week, if he's permitted back next week. Well, Jay, thank you for giving your side, and we'll see you around, buddy.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good night.
All right, guys. Well, as you heard, it looks like teams are open for Jay Mulder. If you want a guy who's won some GGR races, can't ever come first in anything else that is run by Wark, then that 51, he's your guy. I guarantee you he'll win in anything besides Wark. I don't know why. Just can't win over there. Mainly because of my bumper in 3 and 4 at Phoenix, but Jay Mulder, he's a champion in the World Online Race Championship. Obviously, he's competing for the championship here in the GGR Oregon Diecast IndyCar Series as well. Speaking of Oregon Diecast, we're going to go ahead and give him a shout right here. As always, he is the sponsor here for the GGR IndyCar Series Season 3, so make sure you go follow him on Instagram at Oregon Diecast, as you see it spelled there on your screen, OregonDiecast at Oregon Diecast on Instagram. Make sure you go follow him there. As we pace here under yellow, pace truck lights are still on, I think. They're not doubling up quite yet. Ethan Workman, he's up to 4th after that incident. Looks like Christian Visconti, unfortunately, had to use his fast repair, so he is off the track. Looks like Blake Kennedy, he is off as well. I believe Kennedy is a couple laps down, unless he got them back. I believe Kennedy actually did get his laps back. Josh Patterson is the last car on the lead lap. He is lined up 12th here. As Jack Leslie 13th and Nick Pena 14th. Those are Leslie's 2 laps down, Pena's 3 laps down here. So looks like we we are having some issues here with Jay Moeller and Paul Granada. Neither of them really happy with each other here, so and breaking news between Paul Granada and Jay Moeller. Paul Granada has just removed Jay Moeller from the World Online Racing Championship Discord server, the league that's owned by us. So clearly things are not going too well with Paul Granada there in the Nova Sim Racing camp. So yeah, sorry for the silence here. They're gonna double it up right quick here. Pace truck lights are off, and this is sure to be an interesting finish with Ethan Workman already back up to P4. I mean, at 13, I've been mentioning it. I think he's the car to beat tonight. He's on the verge of leading the most laps in this thing, but right now his teammate Ethan Harrison is in control. Harrison fires off quickly here. Looks like Connor Havrilla will fire off. I just realized Connor Havrilla is P2. Great run for him. Workman will clear himself up into P3. Sharp's P4. Garrett White, he's rebounded up to P5. He's the guy to watch out for here. As Workman, he's going to go to the inside of Connor Havrilla here, side by side for second. The 13 is on a hunt here. He's looking for a huge rebound after Iowa. And tonight could be the night for the 13 of Workman. He clears Havrilla. Havrilla's got the wall a little bit. And ultimately now Ethan Workman has set his sights on his teammate Ethan Harrison. The two Ethans are going to battle it out for the lead here. Meanwhile, back here for third, Havrilla. He's trying to work the top side in, but unfortunately he's going to get passed by Anthony Sharps. He gets the wall. He's side by side with his former teammate Garrett A. White there. And the 26, we'll see White. He comes down on the inside. Havrilla kind of washes up the track there. A big mistake out of him. He's going to come down in front of Aaron Giffen. Giffen's now going to go to the inside, and Connor Havrilla is getting trained right now. Back up front, Workman is slowly reeling in Ethan Harrison here, as that 13 is bad fast. Sharps and White battling it out. Behind them, Aaron Giffen. He's running 5th right now. He's battling Connor Havrilla for a top 5 spot here. Giffen to the inside, Havrilla to the outside. And behind them, we have Josh Patterson, Blake Kennedy battling it out. Giffen's going to pass Havrilla. Havrilla gets the wall. That's in front of Josh Patterson. And Havrilla and Patterson side by side. We've seen Havrilla tag the wall off exit several times right there. He and Jaden Carter, I mean, they're just magnets to that wall. Man, Josh Patterson, he's moved himself up into P6 here, so slowly but surely the O2 making his way through the field. I mean, he's been just chilling at the back, waiting out the cautions. As Ryan Kame gets to the inside of Jack Leslie here, Christian Visconti, he's battling with Jaden Carter. He's actually going to get blocked a little bit by Jack Leslie there. And it looks like Visconti never actually took his fast repairs, so he's actually rolling with that damage there. He has tons of side pod damage on both the left and right side. He's actually going to get passed by Jaden Carter here, and I think that 80 is just limping right now, trying to hold on to that fast repair as long as he can. Hunter Fox tags the rear end of the field. Back up front, Garrett A. White has gotten into third, and Ethan Workman, if I'm him, I'm trying to act as quick as I can to get by Ethan Harrison here, because Garrett White has proven that he is and can and will be aggressive, trying to go for the lead here. And that's something that the 13 doesn't want to see when he's been the fastest car all night so far. As he's definitely reeling in Ethan Harrison slowly but surely. The two Outlaw Racing teammates gunning for the same real estate here as they cross the line, lap 52 of 96. And ultimately, it's going to come down to when a lane opens for Workman here. But Garrett White fast approaching in that 26 as Workman getting held up in the dirty air of the 77. Workman to the top side of Ethan Harrison, side by side through 1 and 2. He's trying to make a move. Harrison goes up to the top to wash up. They're going to be 3 wide here for a moment off exit. Garrett White's going to lift Harrison, and Workman going at it side by side. And Harrison, he might be a 2 birds 1 stone situation here, as he might lose ground to Garrett White. Maybe not. He's going to get a huge run off the top side, and Ethan Harrison, he's working his way back around. Workman got the lead back, but Harrison still trying to fight here. I mean, Harrison and Workman there putting on a good show here side by side. This has allowed Anthony Sharps to reel himself back in here in P4. Garrett White, he's moving top to bottom here, trying to figure out a lane. But right now with the two Ethans side by side, he's really struggling to find a way to go here. These guys are putting on a great show, though. And ultimately, this is going to come down to a great finish here if these guys can keep up the racing like this. And you have to wonder, what is the tire wear difference with Harrison on the top side and Workman on the bottom? As Garrett White in third, Anthony Sharps in fourth. It looks like Workman, he's actually going to lose some ground there on the bottom. He's going to gain it all back on exit, though. I'm not really sure how. Normally the top side is where you'd find all your exit. Looks like Harrison cleared Workman for a moment. Oh, Hunter Fox is slow on the apron in front of Workman. That causes him to wash up, and that's going to cost Ethan Workman. That may have just screwed the 13 big time. Hunter Fox was in the racing line on the apron, washed up, and Workman had to readjust. And I mean, he is fighting here. I mean, wow. Ethan Harrison gets loose. Ethan Workman gets loose. Through the grass they go. Harrison and Workman trying to get back on the track. I'm not sure if Harrison got tagged. I saw Workman get sideways first, I think. I don't know which Ethan I saw get sideways first. The top 3 has now changed. Josh Patterson has moved up into P2 now. And Patterson is now on the hunt for Garrett White. Anthony Sharps, he's looking for his first ever win. Harrison and Workman, at one point they were 1-2. Now they're 4-5. Struggling here. Is Aaron Giffen having a good night. He's running P6. He's the guy behind those top 5. But for now, it's Garrett White and Josh Patterson, and there's a small rift between these two guys. If you don't remember Iowa, Garrett White, he kind of drove it into 3 and 4 and wrecked Josh Patterson. Well, he didn't fully wreck him. Patterson was able to save it, luckily. But ultimately, Patterson, he lines up P2 here, and he's got a chance to kind of get Garrett White back, as after Garrett White took the lead from that incident, he would spin himself in front of the field. And there was a lot of talk about Garrett A. White and Josh Patterson, and the way Josh Patterson has driven all season long. Apparently, there's some guys who just aren't quite on board with the way the O2's been. So right now at the O2, I mean, he's driven nothing but a clean race so far, and I'd be surprised if anybody has any complaints about him after this race. Of course, that means that he's cleaned the last 37 laps here, but ultimately Patterson trying to reel in Garrett White, but Garrett White so strong right now up front with all that clean air. As Workman and Harrison stay top 5. Looks like Ryan Kame has gone to P6. Jaden Carter to 7th. Aaron Giffen has fallen back to 8th. Blake Kennedy struggling right now. He is 9th, and Christian Visconti, he's struggling as well with all that damage. He's running P10. He almost just got the wall there, and I can't imagine that 80 is very happy. At one point, it was an Outlaw Racing 1, 2, 3, 4. That ended up being quite short-lived, as Workman, Harrison, Kennedy, and Visconti all struggling here. And Aaron Giffen, also part of that camp, is struggling as well. They went from 1, 2, 3, 4 to 8, 9, 10. So, tough luck for those guys. Hunter Fox, first car a lap down, except for he's actually not a lap down. He's 2 laps down. Nick Pena, 3 laps down, and Jack Leslie, 3 laps down as well. All these guys are lap traffic here. Connor Havrilla, he pulled off. I didn't actually see if anything happened to him. That sucks. He was having himself a pretty solid run up around the top 5 for most of the night. So, looks like Josh Patterson, he's going to go down pit road. And so that's going to start some green flag pit stops here, potentially, as Patterson, I didn't quite see how long it had been since he'd been to pit road, but a guy who hasn't been to pit road for a while is Ethan Harrison, 41 laps since he's been down there. So I would expect to see the 77 possibly take a trip down pit road soon. And honestly, I don't really know what the fuel run is. It looks like Harrison is going to pull down. So Harrison, he's going to go about 42 laps here on fuel. And that means that all of these drivers are going to have to pit one more time here. And if this thing goes green, this is going to shape up to be a great finish here to finish this out. Oh, never mind. I cannot tell what the yellow is for. Looks like it was Jack Leslie running 3 laps, 4 laps down. Let's go take a look here. Looks like Leslie was a lap car. Looks like he's getting lapped here by Kennedy and Giffen. And he gets the apron a little bit, washes up the track. Not really sure where. Oh, he just got the outside wall there off of 4 and spun himself around. That's going to change the entire pit strategy of this event, as everyone can now make it on fuel. Which that part kind of sucks, because I was really invested in seeing some green flag pit stops for the second week in a row. So Jack Leslie, unfortunately, self-spinning there, and that'll cause that one, and he'll fall even more laps down here. He'll probably finish P13. So the whole field is going to come down pit road here, and Ethan Workman, look at him. He is on the rear wing of Anthony Sharps as the driver of the 13, getting a really good pit entry here. We'll see what happens between he, Sharps, and White. We'll see who gets off of pit road ahead of who. Garrett White into his pit stall. Pretty much a perfect stop for him. Let's check Ethan Workman. Perfect stop for him as well, so we'll see what happens between the two. White is off of pit road, so is Sharps. Looks like they took fuel only. We'll see if Workman took tires. Workman is off of pit road, side by side. Workman got him! What a great, great pit stop for Ethan Workman, and the driver of the 13 has pulled out in front of the field. Christian Visconti has stayed out in the 80. I'm not sure if he plans to pit now. It looks like he is gonna maybe pit this time. I'm not really sure what the 80's plan is here. His teammate is in the 13, so I'm sure Ethan Workman is begging the 80 camp to please pit. We'll see what happens here with Visconti. Looks like he's staying out. No, he'll pull it down in pit road. So he just want to stay out, probably lead a lap here. So Visconti will pit. Hopefully he'll take that fast pair. I really hope he has one left. I mean, he's getting around the track, but he's definitely not up to the speed that he was earlier. And I mean, seeing as fast as he was going earlier, that damage is definitely a major factor in the reason why he's back there. So Ethan Workman will retain the lead on a phenomenal pit stop. Garrett White, he'll roll out P2. Anthony Sharp's third. Blake Kennedy has rebounded up to fourth. I'm not sure if that was part of a fuel-only strategy or what. Jaden Carter's fifth. Ryan Kame sixth. Aaron Giffen seventh. Josh Patterson back to eighth. And then Visconti, he will come out of pit road ninth. So Ethan Harrison, he'll have to cycle around using the wave around, and that will put him at the tail end of the top 10. So Harrison has some work to do. That caution really screwed him over. And let's get to a mid-race update here. 27 laps to go. We've had 7 cautions in this race. 25 of the 70 laps ran so far have been under yellow, and we have had 12 lead changes so far, as the race has definitely gotten pretty spicy here late in this one, as Ethan Workman, he set the pace early on, and he set the pace for pretty much the first half of this thing until he had to pit, and then some issues came up, but he's back out front once again, and that is my favorite to win this race if you're not the O2 car. But Garrett White, obviously he's very strong too, and he had that issue early on where he got wrecked. So really we haven't seen much of his speed until now, and he's showing that he has speed to run up front as well. So the 26, he's also one of my favorites to win this race. I think it's going to be between the 13, the 26, and the O2, because I mean, you really can't ever count out the O2 here in the GGR Oregon Diecast IndyCar Series. Speaking of the GGR Oregon Diecast IndyCar Series, make sure you go make sure you go follow the sponsor for Season 3, Oregon Diecast, on Instagram at Oregon Diecast. That is OregonDiecast at Oregon Diecast on Instagram. Make sure you go drop them a follow on Instagram, as they have come on board here for Season 3 of the GGR IndyCar Series. Workman and White side by side here, doubled up as pace truck lights are off. Down the back straightaway here at Nashville Superspeedway, just east of Nashville, Tennessee. I think I'm getting that direction right, east. I don't really know where Lebanon, Tennessee is. I'm just making some assumptions here. I know it's off of like 444 or something weird like that, or 244. I don't know, something weird like that. It's about all I know about Nashville Superspeedways. It's in the middle of nowhere. Pace truck is off. And side by side here, what a restart by Garrett A. White. Workman could not quite catch him sleeping. He caught everyone third on back sleeping, but not Garrett White. And they'll go side by side into turn 1. No, White will pull in line here. And we'll see if Garrett White is willing to help Ethan Workman here, as ultimately they are friends from what I know. And Workman really desperately needs this win to have a fight here in the playoffs. And we know Garrett White, he doesn't like the points leader right now, Josh Patterson. But then again, when you're a race car driver, the whole point of you racing, especially on something like this, an even fixed setup race. Your goal is to win. So Garrett White, I don't think he's going to play too nice with Ethan Workman, and right now it actually doesn't look like he is playing nice. Looks like he's trying to find ways around him here. As they go through 3 and 4, Anthony Sharps is on the tail end of them, and Jaden Carter, he's having himself a little bit of a rebound running 4th here. He's actually not too far off of these leaders here. Visconti's back up to 5th. Looks like he took that faster pair, so I expect him to have that speed he had early on in the race, and Josh Patterson back in 6th. Meanwhile, Garrett White looks like he moved Ethan Workman up the racetrack for the lead here. And that's huge. This is big. This helps Josh Patterson major because winning a race gives you a lot more points than second place does. And Workman is a guy that Patterson, I'd say Workman is probably one of his biggest competitions, if not the biggest competition that he has. Seeing what Workman's done so far this season. Very quiet season for the third team. I mean, he's capped off a couple of wins. He's just he's been towards the front the whole season. And I mean, Blake Kennedy, that's how he was early in the season. So was Jay Mulder. But ultimately, towards the end of the season, it was Workman and Patterson who I saw winning races more than Kennedy and Mulder. And right now, Garrett White is setting the pace as the top 6 are very bunched up with Josh Patterson and Christian Visconti. Visconti having some network issues, but he's there. And Ryan Kame now starting to reel in this top 6 as well. So this is really, when you get in the dirty air like this, you get a pack of cars. That's huge for the racing here as Jaden Carter, I mean, we haven't seen much speed out of him. We've seen him in the wall quite a bit, and yet he's up here in 4th. Ethan Workman with a costly mistake off of 4. He's going to have Anthony Sharps diving to his outside here with 20 laps to go in this thing. Three wide almost here down the front straightaway as Sharps, Workman, and Carter battle it out. Looks like Patterson has gotten by Christian Visconti, and now he's setting his sights on Jaden Carter as definitely did not want to see Josh Patterson up here in the mix, and we'll see how things shape out for Patterson in that 0-2 as Workman and Sharp side by side, Patterson and Carter side by side. I've seen the top side work, especially for Workman, so we'll see if Workman can run the top really well here. And Patterson, he drives it in really deep. He actually gets to Anthony Sharps' rear wing for a moment, and man, Sharps and Workman side by side. This is all helping Garrett White, who's out to a second advantage here. As Patterson trying to work the middle, he's not really sure what to do here. He's in a bit of a bird's nest as Christian Visconti now gets by Jaden Carter, and Ryan Kame has reeled them in. That's not something you hear too often. So great runs here for Ryan Kame and Jaden Carter. But the battling right now definitely for P2 between Sharps, Workman, and Patterson. And I'm not sure what happened to Workman's early race magic, but it's all but seemingly disappeared here as he's struggling right now, trying to find his way around the track as he's gotten passed by Sharps. He's got Patterson behind him, and Workman, he's going to spin it into the infield. No caution, he'll lock it up. He won't hit the pit wall, but that will be a major, major incident for Ethan Workman, and wow. That is tough for Workman. That will cost him pretty much everything. I mean, he built up a lot this race. I've really hyped him up this race, and that was a tough way to end it out here. Patterson moves up into second. Christian Visconti, he's fighting for third here in that 80, and he's a fast guy. Workman is getting lapped. He's staying to the bottom here. I'll force Visconti to move up the track for a moment. And Workman now, he's going to move up the track a little bit. Kind of into his teammate. Oh, Workman just blocked Visconti. I'm not really sure what's going on there. Teammates have just not played very nice tonight. We had Nova Sim Racing's issues. Now we have Outlaw Racing teammates not playing very nice with each other. It just isn't working out. As Josh Patterson, he does not have much time to reel in Garrett White from a second back, and I mean White, he's in clean air, so he's definitely got a lot to work with. Anthony Sharp's a great run from him, running up here in P3 at the moment. Jaden Carter, He's rolling P4 here. Christian Visconti running out the top 5 so far. Ryan Kame, he's up in the 6th. Good run for that 21 car, not somebody you usually see up front. Garrett White, that last time by, lost a 10th to Josh Patterson, so with 12 laps left in this thing, I mean, it's going to be very, very close whether or not Josh Patterson and Garrett White are able to get her done and put on a show for us here. And as Patterson doesn't gain as much that time by, it gains about just merely a tenth of a tenth. I mean, he is not gaining hardly at all. Patterson gains about 2/10 of a tenth there. I mean, there's nothing going on right now. Patterson, he's gaining, but it's just not enough. I mean, he's got to be gaining a tenth a lap here at minimum. I mean, in the closing laps here, Patterson's only hope for winning this thing might be a yellow. As Jane Carter is slowly pulled away from Visconti, these guys are just slowly separating out here. It's shaped up for a good second half here. I mean, the first half of the race was a little rough, but rough races for some of these guys. I mean, Workman, I mean, we all saw what happened with him. Ethan Harrison, he was up front too, leading some laps. He's 9th. Blake Kennedy at one point was in the top 3. He's back to the 8th. I mean, just struggles all around for these guys. And Hunter Fox, he was kind of towards the front too. And there's your caution. Maybe. No, caution will not fly. Oh, Fox just put it in the outside wall. Oh, he is stopping in front of the field. There's the leaders. I don't think I need to show a replay of that. We saw the whole thing transpire. Looks like he just went straight in the corner. You know what? We're gonna back this thing up here. Okay, we're gonna back this thing up. We're gonna put on far chase cam. Okay, we're gonna pull up the Henry cam, and we're gonna see what happened here with Hunter Fox. And meanwhile, folks, my co-commentator has finally arrived here in the closing laps. Quentin Ailey is in the house.
How's it going, Brazen?
We're currently watching Hunter Fox here. I cannot really describe what's going on here. Here, I'll rewind it again. We're gonna go to the gyro cam here. We have the Henry cam pulled up.
I just made it in time with 6 laps left.
Oh yeah, this is a Henry cam moment.
Oh no! It looks like that right front suspension just broke. Oh god, has that been normal tonight?
No. Nothing about this wreck is normal. By the way, the caution is not out at this point yet. I'll tell you when the caution comes out. Now it comes out. This is when the caution flies. When he spins down in front of the leaders. That's the leaders passing him.
So I have real life experience with this. Crazy enough, turn 1 at Charlotte. If you just go backwards, they'll give you a caution.
I have witnessed this. I can attest to this being the truth here.
He must have taken a
page out of Q
play
Haley's
out of my
book.
notebook. Yeah, good for him. Who's leading this thing? Sorry to
Garrett...
our listeners. I just got back from RC racing with Tyson Gifford and Justin Haley. That was a debacle, but somehow better than what
you've had a better night than I have.
Oh,
I'm flying to Charlotte. I'm flying to Charlotte next Tuesday. I don't want to be here anymore.
Oh, that's all good. I mean, luckily I'm here to witness the last 5 laps. I see.
Yeah, you might want to leave. It's not gonna be 5 laps. We're gonna have green white checkers.
Luckily, I caught the Jay Molnar and Paul Granada incident. That is awesome for our viewers.
Oh yeah, that's probably my favorite part of the night. So Garrett White's the leader.
Okay.
Josh Patterson is second. Anthony Sharps is third. The race has been dominated by Ethan Workman for the most part, and Ethan Harrison. But they're both in the back now because Workman self-spun and Harrison got screwed by caution being caused by Jack Leslie. So
very small field here tonight, though.
Well, I mean, it was 18. We have 12 cars left in the race, and one of them is Hunter Fox 4 laps down. Nick Pena's 4 laps down. So
Well, I see Blake Kennedy in 4th. He's always strong,
Yeah, that's actually the first time that he's been in the top 5 in quite a while.
Visconti 6th. I mean, we
I
still
mean,
have
Christian
some really
Visconti
good
was like
drivers up
4th,
front.
but I don't know what happened to him. It's been an interesting night. Anthony
Aaron
Sharps
Giffen
is
surviving. That's exciting.
yeah, that doesn't usually happen. Neither does Ryan Kame. Ryan Kame's like, I mean, he's been running well. Anthony Sharps is 3rd. That usually doesn't happen.
Pena 4 laps down. That's pretty iconic.
Yeah, pretty normal. Yeah, it's working out.
Well, I'm happy to catch his tail end. I pounded about 4 bangs on the way to my apartment, so really excited for this. Really good way to cap off my night.
Funny is the viewers don't know that I have seen you pound 4 energy drinks down in about a 2-hour span. It is incredible how Quentin Haley over here can chug energy drinks like it's nobody's business. I mean, dude drinks them like water.
Stop. Yeah, my heart would stop if I didn't have caffeine.
Yeah, I mean, he went to the gas station. He bought like 3 or 4 Red Bulls, and he had them all gone in a 2-hour span. I mean, I don't know how he did it.
Listen, when you don't drink beer, you gotta find something to entertain yourself with.
So heart palpitations it is.
Heart palpitations it is. Oh, I mean, yeah. So from what I've seen, this has been a tricky track for some of these drivers.
Tricky really, is an understatement. It's been tricky for me.
Somehow better than Phoenix.
I mean, I'm glad nothing has been as bad as Phoenix.
It's all about upwards progression here at GGR.
I don't see progression. I just see disappointment.
No, I mean, what we're gonna see here, I would like to guess in the next 4 laps.
Is a green white
checkered.
Guys
who are. Anyways, what I was saying is these 4 laps we have left, I think that we've kind of gotten rid of the trash, and all we got left is kind of the cream, the wheat. They've risen to the top. They're gonna put on a heck of a show. Don't prove me wrong now, guys.
Well, it's debatable with some of the people still left on track. I don't think we've gotten rid of all the trash yet, but Garrett White, Josh Patterson, 2x2 here. They're gonna lead us to the green flag, and
I'm not sure if Paul Granada can win this race.
I
he has a lapse.
I mean, there's a chance. I mean, I don't know if he can be undq'd by the admins, but pace truck is off. We'll see what kind of a restart Josh Patterson gets here, and he gets an awful one. Garrett White, huge restart here. Patterson is going to force his way down in front of Anthony Sharp for P2, and it's a brawl, big battle here behind him for P4.
Yeah, so I haven't really watched all that much. How big has the draft been here tonight?
So when you're in dirty air, you get really stacked up. But clean air is kind of king. But it's not, the dirty air isn't so bad that you can't run somebody down. As we see here, Blake Kennedy and Christian Visconti, they're side by side here for 4th. Patterson is roughly on that last run. He was just slightly faster than Garrett White, maybe about half a tenth faster. The issue with Patterson is he was a second back, and then Hunter Fox caused the caution. So 2 laps to go here. We'll see how bad Josh Patterson wants it. As we know, there's a little bit of a rift between him and Garrett White here. White flag this time by.
Yeah, anything can happen here at GGR, just like a brother turning a brother on the last corner. I wouldn't be surprised if Josh Patterson kind of puts a wing to old Garrett A. White. I know he's hungry for another victory.
We'll see. Does Josh Patterson, does he win it clean, or does he go for the win here? He's going to enter a little bit higher than Garrett A. White through 3 and 4. What will Patterson have for White? He will have nothing. Garrett A. White will come off of turn 4, and he's going to take the win here at the Nashville Superspeedway. Anthony Sharps will finish P3, Visconti 4th, and Kennedy will round out the top 5. Great finish for Aaron Giffen. He will take P6, as that is an Outlaw Racing 4, 5, 6, 7 with Ethan Workman taking on P7. A rough finish for Ethan Harrison as he takes home P9. And Garrett White didn't lead all the laps, but definitely showed the speed there in the second half of that race, and ultimately was able to hold off the regular season champ. And looks like he's getting some congratulations on the win here tonight, as Workman and White battled it out for the win a little bit. So obviously Workman probably a fan of the clean racing that the 26 brought on here. As Garrett A. White, not a playoff driver here. He's just here to run some laps. Looks like Ryan Kame is coming to give his congratulations as well. But ultimately, Garrett A. White comes home with his want to say this is not his first career GGR win, but he doesn't have as many as Henry Clappert, the GGR all-time wins leader. So he's definitely got a big goal to look forward to as his GGR career progresses and trying to catch the ultimate leader, Henry Clappert here. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back here following this commercial break. The field is rolling on the back straightaway.
Get ready. This is going to be tight. Out of turn 4, ladies and gentlemen. The All-American 400 is underway.
Got to be careful. The bumps here can get you every time. Entering the corner, exiting the corner. Welcome back, everybody, from commercial break here on Work TV. We're now here for post-race interviews. We're going to drag in our race winner, Garrett A. White. Garrett, you're in the Work TV booth, buddy. Do you have a copy?
I do.
Well, Garrett, early on, you unfortunately were involved in an incident that set you kind of towards the back. You paced yourself, though, and you still ended up leading 33 laps here. Unfortunately, not the most laps led, but you really came alive in the second half. Late in the race, you had a second lead, and an unfortunate caution came out that actually happened right in front of you guys as the leaders. Run me through your thoughts there on that final restart and knowing that you had the most dominant car of the season behind you.
Yeah, it's not terrifying knowing that Josh is behind me. I knew if I had a decent restart to get out in front, I had a good chance to win. And I think he slid up off of 4, with 2 to go, and I think that would seal the deal.
Yeah, hi Garrett. I don't think I've officially met you. My name's Quentin Ailey. I run that other series you're in. Do you feel that Knock in our Legend Car series has really prepared you to be a better IndyCar driver? And if you say no, you're automatically kicked. So just think about that.
Please say no.
Oh no. No. I mean, I think it definitely has helped me. Definitely.
I heard the word no there, Quentin.
Man, talk.
Nah, but it's fun racing both leagues.
Well, do you have any sponsors you want to thank tonight?
Obviously Target is my main sponsor, and then there was a deal if one of us won the race, we're gonna have a Smirnoff party. So that's what I'm gonna do now. So see y'all.
Well, congratulations, and crack a few cold ones for us.
Will do. Thanks.
All right, Garrett White sounds like he's partying there in his college dorm that his parents pay for. Must be nice. Josh Patterson, he came on P2 tonight. We're going to drag him up here.
My parents pay for an apartment.
Yeah, well, it's cool. Josh Patterson, you're in the Work TV booth, buddy. Do you have a copy?
No.
All right. We're going to see if we can get him back here in a second, see if he has a copy. Josh Patterson, you're in the Work TV booth, buddy. Do you have a copy?
Now I got you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what happened. All right, Josh. Well, you sucked tonight. You didn't lead a single lap. I thought you were supposed to be good. What happened out there?
Yeah, car sucked. Setup sucked.
All right. Can we get an interview from somebody besides Henry Clappert?
Yeah, taking one from Henry's book. No, I actually went perfectly to plan there. I didn't even realize I didn't lead a lap, but it's not too big of a deal. I think the gap is now 42 points, so that's really what I'm looking at. I'm, less about wins more about the points gap from me to whoever's second. Right now it's Blake. But yeah, no, P2. I'm happy with that. I told Garrett on that last restart that I was gonna follow him if I could, because I was happy with second. I was really annoyed with that last yellow there, because I was just trying to cruise it home, get a solid podium, and the caution came out, and then everybody behind me pitted, so I was really nervous there, but and it ended up working out. So yeah, didn't wasn't really as flashy as usual, but got the job done.
Well, Josh, you're one of those Nova Sim Racing guys, and I just got to ask about your opinion of the incident that happened between Jay Mulder and Paul Granada. Being a part of that team, what kind of outcomes do you foresee happening?
Well, I want to thank everybody on Dynamo Designs Racing, powered by Limeade Media. Thank God I'm leaving Nova after the display tonight. Yeah, that was atrocious.
True display of talent, I think. Talent, intelligence, skill, overall well-being of social aspects. I mean.
Oh yeah, it had it all. And then the thing that you guys missed on broadcast, which I got to enjoy in its fullest, was Jay Mulder absolutely screaming into my ear over the Discord. So yeah, that was real fun for everyone involved. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I have to carry that badge as the owner. But apparently Jay's gone now, and Paul's contemplating life itself. So yeah, that's why I'm jumping ship. But just yeah, I don't have anything else to say.
All right.
Yeah,
folks.
so I got one more quick question, if you don't mind, Brazen.
Go ahead.
Henry Clappert is a well-known member of Outlaw Racing. With your new team, Dynamo Racing, am I correct?
Yeah, Dynamo
Something
Racing.
like that.
Do you feel like you can really poach Henry Clappert, the most winning GGR driver, to hopefully drive for your team? Or is he one of those guys you really don't feel like is in reach?
See, I feel like we'd love to have Henry on the team. Like that is our perfect person for this team. But unfortunately, he's a tough call. He's a tough grab. He plays hard to get. So if we wanted to do that, he'd take a lot of convincing and a lot of effort on our part. And I just don't think it's realistic. Not from our part. We'd love to have him, but I think he's pretty cemented in Outlaw Racing. So I'm pretty sure he's going to stay where he's at.
Well, folks, you hear that? Nova Sim Racing, not really a family-friendly organization at the moment, and Henry Clappert, one of the most loyal guys to be around. That's why he's the fan favorite everywhere he goes. Everyone loves Henry.
Absolutely. I mean, we all love Henry.
Of course. So, Josh, before we let you go, buddy, do you have anybody you want to thank tonight?
Well, normally I start off these interviews, these thanking segments with thanking everybody at Nova Sim Racing. I'm honestly not going to do that this time. That was,
that'd be really cool if you just said
happened.
thank nobody at Nova Sim Racing, but, you do your thing.
Well, I got to thank G-Man, the only person who was on Nova Sim Racing who has any kind of talent or brain capacity.
He left Nova Sim Racing.
He did a good job. I know, like, in the previous months, okay? We're going to make an exception for this interview. So I got to thank him. Congratulations to him on the win today. He did a really good job out there. Now to the sponsors: Dynamo Designs, Belfour Property Restoration, NTN, Nurse Distributions, Vulture Racing Engines, Work TV and Work TV Broadcasting, Patriot Clutches, The Keystone Corner, EVC Automotive, the coveted Henry Cam Twitch, iRacer95, Limeade Media, GGR Leagues, Oregon Diecast. I gotta thank you, Brayson, and I guess Quentin. I didn't realize he was in here for broadcasting tonight. I gotta thank Ethan for running the league, and I gotta thank everybody for coming out tonight and giving me a fun race.
All right, well, great job on P2 tonight, Josh, extending the points lead. Ultimately, your points racing, not racing for the win here, and extending that championship lead. Always big here, and next week should be very, very exciting for everyone involved here in GGR, except for us in the broadcast booth, because it's Auto Club, and that should be full throttle.
They're parked.
Yeah, well, I mean, Auto Club is full throttle, so we're probably going to see a lot of wrecks, I'm afraid. But nevertheless, 2 races left in the season. Congratulations, Josh. I want to say 2 races left. I actually didn't
two
count
races
that
left.
out yet.
You're right.
So 2 races to go, 42-point lead. Congratulations, Josh. We'll see you around.
Yeah, thanks, Bryson. Talk to you soon.
All right, he thanks me, not
Only
Quentin. That's because Quentin sucks. Get on my level.
only 2 races left.
Thank
Thank
God.
God.
So we get paid to do this again next season.
I don't get paid.
Anthony Sharp, you're in the Work TV booth, buddy. Do you have a copy?
Loud and clear.
Well, you're a guy we don't ever really talk about too often, or necessarily talk to too often here in these interviews. But from 15th to 3rd, you pulled out a podium finish tonight, and you're honestly, I consider you a very hit or miss driver, in terms of your just your performances. Um, but you pulled out a good one today. And what are your thoughts here? We have 2 races left on the season. Do you think that this will carry some momentum here next week in Auto Club and then into the season finale, which is at Las Vegas?
For sure. I've had a really up and down season. Some my fault, some not really my fault, but that's just racing. You know how it goes. Trying to be more consistent, and I definitely think that I got a good shot at least getting a top 5 at both of the remaining races. Try and get up to P2 in points. It's going to be very hard to catch Josh unless he has a couple of really bad races, and I managed to pull out some wins. But right now my goal is P2.
So Anthony, did you really feel like you had anything for the top 2 tonight on that last restart? Maybe, did you see an opening where you probably could have won, or was it just, at that point just right along and accept 3rd place?
Yeah, it was kind of right around. The tires were kind of shot. I didn't do myself any favors on the long run. I couldn't do much to really get up there. Those guys were really quick, and I kind of just accepted that. Try to learn from them for future reference.
All right. Well, Anthony, ultimately it was a good night for you here, P3 in that 92 machine, 15 to 3rd. Very impressive run here to track that. It had its passing moments, but it definitely was very hard to pass. So, congratulations on that as well. I think that makes you the hard charger for tonight. So that's I don't know if it's a bonus point or not here in GGR, but nevertheless, always a good thing to lean back on. So, thanks for being around here, Anthony. And Quentin, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, congratulations on your top 3.
Thank
All
you.
right. That was Anthony Sharps, folks. Now we're going to bring in Blake Kennedy for a special interview here. Blake, you're in the Work TV booth, buddy. Do you have a copy?
Yes, I do.
All right. Well, Blake, I know you're one of the admins of GGR. I kind of want to know your opinions on tonight's event. Some of the things that went down. I want to just get an admin's perspective on your experiences tonight.
Yeah, for now, like we haven't looked at the incident that happened around lap 15 or so between Jay Mulder and Paul Granada, but
The incident.
yeah, the incident. Yes, but for sure penalties will be handed out and easily suspensions on both sides, potentially season-ending suspensions. But that's all I got for now. We were discussing and we were speaking to Jay Mulder when it happened, so really we were kind of distracted and couldn't really assess anything there. But most of the races were done anyways, so and they were removed from the servers consequently. But other than that, the race was actually really clean from an admin perspective, and other than that, there shouldn't be that much penalties.
Yeah, there was some interesting things going on, caution wise and all that stuff. And ultimately, it was a fairly clean race for GGR standards, of course. What are your thoughts heading into the last 2 races, especially at Auto Club, a track that will be very wide and full throttle? As an admin, does that scare you to know that you're going to be race control that next race?
Not really. But first of all, I want to say I got lucky that race. I wrecked with Paul. I don't know what lap it was in the 20s or something. And I had a wheel glitch, so I took tires and towed and everything. Safe to say, I finished the lap on 75 lap-old tires, or the race on 75 lap-old tires. So I just wanted to get that out of the way, bragging rights. But Auto Club, yeah, it should be a pretty fun one. It will be full throttle, be intense. I think it'll be very racy. It shouldn't be a wreck fest just because of how wide the track is, but you never know. Like today was one of the cleaner races, which thankfully it was, and my chances with the playoffs going forward, it'll certainly be tough with Josh having a first and second here to open up the playoffs, but I'm not out of it per se.
All right, well, Q, do you have anything you want to add before we let Blake go and go review those penalties for tonight?
I mean, I would like to ask for a apology from Blake to the viewers for the atrocity that is GGR, but I feel like I'm not going to get one of those. So, no, I don't have anything to add.
All right, well, Blake, go have fun reviewing those penalties. You have quite a bit of footage to look over, especially regarding the incident between former, maybe, question mark, Nova Sim Racing teammates. So go have fun with that, Blake. We're glad you could come in here and talk to us for a few minutes, though.
Yeah, thank you guys for putting up the show. I hope it was a great one.
Yeah, thank God we only have 2 races left before we have to come back next season, maybe.
Oh, you're going to miss it. Don't even start with me.
No. All right, we'll see you later, Blake.
All right, thanks, Blake.
Thank you guys.
All right, guys, that was Blake Kennedy. He's one of the admins here in GGR. We're glad we could get to talk to him here. And ultimately, that'll close it out here for tonight here from the Nashville Superspeedway. Beautiful facility here. Always some good racing. And honestly, this was one of the better GGR races we've had this season. So I'm super, super glad that we didn't have 1,000 cautions and that this race was over before 11:30 at night. So I can go, actually do things tonight in my life instead of going straight to bed. Before we go, Quint, do you have anything you want to add?
No, I mean, I hope within these last 2 races I'm able to make a full broadcast, but that racer life, I'm always on the road, so who knows if I'll be here next
Consider
week.
yourself lucky.
Yeah, well, I enjoy being here, unlike you, but I'm not being paid, which is an atrocity, but that's...
No, we're working on it for next season.
Well, thanks to our viewers, we always appreciate you guys turning out and watching. Thank you to Ethan Harrison for, taking that Kroger money and putting it towards something cool like GGR. Because there's usually some cool wrecks. But I'm excited to see this penalty report, and